Perhaps I treated you too harshly.
What's up, guys? We got a little bit of news to talk about today. Ian Garry, we got some news on Dana White as well, even some stuff on Michael Morales. I'm not sure what he's got going on. He's been hanging around John Jones, but we'll start with Ian Garry. I guess this is kind of the topic of the day. Ian Garry is actually kind of based now. Wait a minute. I know we all hate Ian Garry. He's super annoying. I hate Ian Garry. I think he's a bit of a snobby, punchable. He's just got that punchable face, that we all like kind of want to punch. But he says something in this interview with Ariel Helwani, which dropped today, that I thought was pretty based. So let's listen to it.
He gets from that area of the world and Jack. It makes sense that they do it there. So yeah, that'll probably be the date. When it comes to me, it's Ariel, I can tell you I'm going to continue to be active. Do you know what I mean? I'm never going to stop. I'm a fighter. I want to be active. I want to beat everyone up. I want to prove that I'm the best, and I don't need a belt wrapped around my waist to prove that I'm the best. I need to keep beating the best fighters in the world, and that belt will come in time.
So this is a different tune than the Ian Garry we heard literally like 2 weeks ago that said, I'm going to sit out and I'm going to wait for a title shot. No, this is a different Ian Garry. I don't know what happened. I don't know if maybe his wife let him sit in the corner this week or something. But I still got to throw the jokes. But no, seriously, I don't know what happened. But Ian Garry is now saying, you know what? Fuck that. I'm not going to sit around and wait. I'm going to fight. I'm going to be active. And I love this from Ian Garry. It's a different mindset than a lot of other fighters we see nowadays. And it's actually why I believe welterweight is the best division, because, everyone says welterweight's the best, and it is the best. And it's by far probably the best it's ever been, dare I say. I think it's because you have guys like Ian Garry, you have guys like Sean Brady, you have guys like Joaquin Buckley, all over the division that are willing to step up and fight. In other divisions like lightweight, for example, you got Justin Gaethje who wants to wait for a title shot, right? Then you got guys like Charles Oliveira who wants to sit and wait for a title shot. Then you got Ilia Topuria who says he would only fight if it was for a title. Then you got all these different names at lightweight. You got Arman who's begging for a top name. He's turning down guys like Gamrod, and you know what I mean? Then you got even middleweight, if you want to talk about that division. Mavov turning down Baraujo, Strickland turning down Baraujo, and Baraujo turning down Strickland because they're buddies. Izzy saying he wants to wait out until the end of the year. There's just so much BS with all these other divisions. Featherweight, you have Yair saying, "Oh, I'm sitting out, I'm waiting for a title," but then it's just Movsar saying he doesn't want to fight Aaron Pico, so he turned that fight down because he wants to sit and wait for a title shot. He deserves it, but that's not the point. The point is, Ian Garry could easily do the same thing. Sean Brady could easily do the same thing. These guys could easily just say, what? I'm the number one contender. I've stepped up 3 times for the UFC, which he has. Ian Garry has stepped up, 2 or 3 times? Multiple times for the UFC. I can't believe I'm praising Ian Garry right now. This is crazy. But I got to be fair. If I like a fighter, I'll shit on them. If I don't like a fighter, I'll praise them if it's there. But I think he deserves to be praised for this mindset. It's crazy how it's such a simple concept, but we don't see it a lot in the UFC right now. There's so many guys that are ducking like John Jones. There's champions that are ducking right now, let alone contenders. So to see a top contender like Ian Garry, a guy who you would think would be the type of guy that would say, no, I'm going to sit out. And he has previously said he was going to sit out for a title shot. But he probably got word that he ain't getting one, so now he's changed his tune. But we could keep reacting to this. I think he goes a little bit more in depth.
That is great to hear, and I think everyone respects that mentality. I think the one that everyone wants to see is you versus Sean Brady. He was on the show last week saying, like, hey, Islam's fighting for the...
I think that should be the next fight, by the way. Sean Brady, Ian Garry, to me is... I'd actually be really hyped for that fight. I'm not going to lie. That'd probably be... That's one of my favorite like contender fights you could make right now, because you got a guy like Sean Brady who is... There's still questions about Sean Brady, like, but there's also a lot of like things we do know. We know his jiu-jitsu is freaking elite. We know his grappling is good. We know he's super strong. But we also am like, how is his chin? Because Bilal TKO'd him on the feet. So how can he handle shots? And there's even still a little bit of questions about Ian Garry as well. I got a burp. I think it'd be a really great fight.
The belt, great. Let me and Ian fight for the number one contender spot. Winner gets to fight the winner of Jack versus Islam. Do you share that sentiment?
Well, firstly, I don't think, and this is where my brain has been kind of going over timings and what's next. I don't think that is the case. And you had Jack on recently, and he told you what he thought. He thinks if he beats Islam, he's going to wait and get Shavkat next.
No, I don't think that's happening. I think Shavkat's going to have to earn it. Me personally, I think Shavkat has to earn it. Because for me, like, I think the division is going to move on. By the time Shavkat comes back, like, Buckley would probably be coming off of the Usman win. I'm assuming he beats Usman, right? Even if Usman beats him, you're going to have guys like Usman, Buckley, Garry, Brady. There's too many moving parts. Morales is going to fight probably again soon. He didn't take damage in his last fight. Prates is going to fight a couple times, probably 2 more times this year. He might get another big name by the end of the year. There's too many moving parts. Bilal. Shavkat, to me, has to fight at least a Bilal Muhammad, maybe a Joaquin Buckley, but I wouldn't want for Buckley to wait. He has to face somebody else. I think Bilal is not a bad idea. Someone else, man. He can't. You can't just. Oh, I'm Shavkat. I've been gone for a year and a half. Where's my title shot? No, bro. Everybody else has been putting in work at welterweight, man. I don't think it's fair that Shavkat should just come back in. Because by the time he comes back, let's say Ian Garry goes on a 2-fight winning streak. You know what I mean? Ian Garry by then would have earned his title shot. So some would argue he deserves one now, but I'd say he needs one more. I think Sean Brady needs one more too. So I think that's the perfect fight, and I don't think Shavkat should get the title shot.
So see, there's a whole lot of what I don't want to be is a political fighter. I don't want to sit around. I mean, we've been trying to look. The welterweight division's in a phenomenal point right now. Like it's crazy, and it's awesome to see, and it's exciting for me. But we've still got people like Kamaru Usman, Leon Edwards, and Colby trying to hold on to that rank, right? They should just leave. They should be gone by this point, right?
Based Ian Garry. He's not retarded anymore, guys. Ian Garry, I don't know what happened. I don't know if he was allowed to like watch from the corner this week, but he's actually based. That's such a good take from Ian Garry. Like, not necessarily like kicked them out the rankings, but yeah, you do have guys like Kamaru Usman and Leon who are just, you know what they're doing, man. And you know Brian Ortega does the same thing. Yair probably does the same thing. These guys that are inactive are just rank squatting. They're just sitting on their rankings. They're number 5 ranked. They're just sitting on their rankings. If you're inactive for more than a year, boom, get out of the fucking rankings. I think they should legitimately add something like that to just keep the division moving. How is Paulo Costa still ranked? He's coming off of multiple losses. He's inactive. I think we should really like change the way the rankings are or something. I'm not sure, but I don't know. It's just crazy. You got guys like Kamaru Usman. He hasn't fought 2 years, 2.5 even, 2 years, right? Coming off of 3 losses, he hasn't fought in 2 years, and he's still like decently highly ranked. How? How is he highly ranked still? He should be kicked out of the rankings. Leon only just lost twice, to be fair, but he's also like, he fights once a year, though. So we know we're not going to see Leon until next fucking year, let's be honest. I can just see Leon, we ain't seeing that boy till February of next year. Well, obviously not this year, because February's passed. You know what I fucking mean. That's actually a base take from Ian Garry. What the fuck? I'm an Ian Garry fan. I'm saying right now I'm an Ian Garry fan. I'm kidding. Fuck Ian Garry. But still, based.
And I don't want to be that political person who's...
And Colby Covington as well. Yeah, how is he... he mentions Colby as well. How the fuck is Colby still, like, decently ranked? He's coming off multiple losses. Like, dude's super inactive. Dude was so inactive. Came back. Got a title shot off of Leon Edwards.
Sits there and goes, I'm not going to fight. I'm just going to wait. No, I'll never do that. I want to be active. I want to be one of the best. And I want to prove that I'm the best in the world.
Oh, my God.
But you've also got this scenario where I fight Sean Brady, right, for example.
I can't believe Ian Garry is saying this. Of all the fighters this year, Dude, if Ian Garry starts having this mentality instead of saying dumb shit like he usually says, maybe I'll become an Ian Garry fan.
I fight Sean Brady, I beat Sean Brady, and I'm still not next. Because that's how the world works sometimes. And they do give it to Shavkat, who's coming off a year layoff, just like they did to Jack. You know, Jack was off for a year injured. They give him a world title shot. So there is no guarantees. So for me, when you say something like that, you got to put that into perspective. I think Jack wants to go Islam if he wins, or if he loses. I think next is probably going to be Shavkat. I think that'll be March, or potentially even after Ramadan. Mm-hmm. If Islam, I don't know if Shavkat.
No, that doesn't. The timing wouldn't match up. The UFC, they wouldn't wait until next year to give Shavkat a title shot off of a 1.5 year layoff. Then, because that's just. Look, UFC. Maybe they would do something like that. Don't get me wrong. They have done things like that, but I'm just saying, like, there's so much movement at welterweight, and knowing JDM, he's gonna want to be active. He's gonna fuck up Islam, and then he's gonna probably want to fight. Let's say he fucks up Islam, September, October, November. He's going to probably want to fight like March. And like Ian said, with Ramadan, I'm assuming Shavkat participates in Ramadan, right? So, he has the OV at the end of his name. So, yeah, you could do JDM versus Ian Garry, if Ian Garry beats Sean Brady, of course, in like January. Or obviously JDM versus Sean Brady. But, Ian Garry versus JDM would be a bigger fight. I can't lie. I like Sean Brady more as a fighter. Well, he's kind of boring too. Welterweight's still great though.
Does Ramadan, so by now it's time.
But I think that's it. I think basically I just wanted to say that was pretty base for me and Gary. I thought he had a really good outlook on that. Especially the part about the rankings as well. Like, these guys just sort of sitting on their higher rankings and being allowed to do that is kind of crazy to me. Like, again, Kamaru Usman, you're number 5 ranked, or I don't know what he's ranked, but you're still top ranked. You haven't fought in 2 years. Like, it's just insane to me, but it is what it is. Pretty base for me and Gary. He's not going to sit out and wait for a title shot like a lot of people called him out for. Because he did say that. He did say he was going to sit and wait, and he was being delusional. But now it seems like he's changed his tune. So much respect. Am I going to become an Ian Garry fan? Oh my God, the world is ending if I'm going to become an Ian Garry fan. So, but let's talk about this. Let's get this tweet in here. Not Ian Garry. Sorry, I got Ian Garry on the brain. Freaking Dana White. All right. Seemingly has been kind of dropped by Turkey Al Sheikh. So, Turkey, this Turkey guy, he says, we have confirmed the promoter for Canelo versus Crawford will be Sayla for Riyadh season. So, I think Sayla is I believe he works for TKO, which is the owners of UFC. The broadcaster we have not decided yet, but the date will be Saturday 13th. So, I'm pretty sure the original date of Canelo Crawford was Friday. Now it's Saturday. I think it was Friday. And that's why Dana was going to be able to do UFC 320, which is on that Saturday, and the Canelo Crawford card, right? Now, seemingly, they're on the same fucking night. So, that probably is the reason Dana's been dropped, but it is interesting they decided to move it to the next day. It's not really a good look. They kind of hyped it up like Dana's going to be the promoter for this big fight, and he's kind of standing in the middle, and they're really hyping it up, and he spoke about it publicly, and they all spoke about it publicly. So for this to kind of happen, he might have got the cold shoulder, man. I'm not really sure what's going on here. I think it's great. I don't think Dana should be allowed to fucking be able to. You work for the UFC. You're the UFC's promoter. You're the UFC's CEO, whatever the fuck. You should not be able to do one and the other. You should not be able to work for the UFC and waltz into fucking whatever the fuck boxing and be like, hey, and now I'm a promoter for you guys. You barely promote the UFC and you're going to do both. But seemingly he's been dropped, so let's go. Hopefully he gets dropped from the UFC. Nah, I'm kidding. Honestly, I don't even know. I don't even know what the solution is with Dana. I don't know. Maybe he's washed. Maybe he isn't. I don't know. But we'll see what happens with this story. And also, speaking of big stories, the one, the only, the GOAT, Rodolfo Bellato. He was supposed to fight Paul Craig in the co-main event of UFC Apex, Burns Morales. And he pulled out literally 2 fights before his fight. And he says he had herpes. Yeah. I never thought that herpes would take me out of a fight. I'm sorry, all of you guys, but it's something that's out of our control. how is herpes out of your control? I don't know. It seems like he's been fucking prostitutes or something before his fights. Because I don't know how you get herpes before a fucking fight. But I just want to throw that in there at the end. And then this video, staying on the topic of the welterweights. This video of Michael Morales has been going around. And as you see, this guy says he has the same tattoos as Michael Morales. So it is him. This video has been going around of Michael Morales. Let's just watch it.
Oye, aguanta, ¿qué? Ya, pero ¿dónde vamos? Vamos para el framo. Ya, pero dame un beso. Como no paga bien la UFC, toca viuda. Oye, como no paga bien UFC, toca viuda. Oye, esa viuda. Oye, aguanta, ¿qué? Ya, pero ¿dónde vamos? Vamos para el framo. Ya, pero dame un beso.
If I speak, I be in trouble. That's it. MMA news. That's the best news I could find. I'm sure I missed some things. I already spoke on Patchy Mix on my my Burns Morales card breakdown. I did speak on Patchy Mix signing, but yeah, Patchy Mix is here. We'll talk about that once 316 rolls around. I'm grasping at straws for content, boys. I mean, I thought Aaron Blanchfield versus Macy Barber was this weekend. It's not even this weekend. It's next weekend. And then we have to watch 360. What's going on with the UFC, man? What's going on, man? But make sure you guys like and sub. Become a member in the description. What are you guys' thoughts on all the news of today? Again, not a lot has happened, but hey, man, when you're an MMA YouTuber, sometimes you got to pull fucking shit out of your ass to make content of. So that's what I'm going to try to do. I just want to bring you guys content. I love making videos. You guys know that. So whatever content I could find. Hell, I'll talk about if fucking Dana White gets a new haircut. I'll do a video on it. I don't care, man. See you guys. Peace.